we did get our pricing from BP, and I was gonna get back to them and ask them to, give us they gave me a spreadsheet of pricing, which they've done in the past, but now we need the like contract paperwork to back it up, you know, equipment list, numbers, and, you know, just the details. So I'm gonna get back to them and get that going. And with the way BP and we work, it should be done in the next century.
Hey, they've been working for us.
No, but sometimes
We need a written contract.
Yeah, right, that's what.
we just need to have it in the file, so. Let's see, we've got Title Fives. We, just in general conversation, we certainly need to be paying attention to the news and medical reports relative to the variant.
Yes.
Because we could be looking at
Going backwards.
masks again.
I think by the end of September, this is just Susan Reguera's opinion, nothing
Okay.
more.
Time to go back to school.
But I think by the end of September, beginning of October, we'll all be wearing masks again. I've been watching, I watch the numbers daily.
Yeah, I know you do, right?
And that, you know, at one point, about 2 weeks ago, we were at 0.29% 7-day weighted average. Now we're up over 1% again. And it's been climbing every day. And I think it's gonna,
Massachusetts or?
this is just Massachusetts.
And we're not doing as bad as a bunch of other
We're
states.
doing pretty
We're
good.
70% last I knew, inoculated, but vaccinated.
And if you watch, when you go in grocery stores, I'm seeing more and more people wearing masks back in grocery stores again.
You know,
But the variant is proving, you know, if you've been vaccinated and you're fully vaccinated and you have no underlying health conditions, you can probably just sail right through without any chance of catching it. But if you have underlying conditions, and I have a feeling all three of us sitting at this table have at least one or two, you take a chance.
For sure.
I think we're all taking, but they said the majority of the cases, I think 90-something% were unvaccinated.
Unvaccinated.
Yeah.
That's
And most of them.
the
But
news
look-
I've been hearing.
But look at Provincetown. The entire town was vaccinated.
A lot of immune deficiency.
A lot, yeah, and what they have, like in one weekend, they had 40 people test positive who had all been vaccinated.
Now the state is telling everybody that was in Provincetown during July that's come back to Boston to get tested and to isolate.
This one's scary.
So there's something,
Yeah.
the Provincetown thing, there's some seriousness to it.
There's something in the air.
Oh, for sure.
But still,
But if they're all vaccinated,
and they're getting, beating that, you got this. I hope this doesn't turn out okay.
Bill
I
Brookings.
go.
Not used to the schedule yet.
Oh, wait a minute, Bill, I have a bit.
Oh. What were you thinking?
Well, I wasn't.
Sorry, Bill, we should have that set up.
Well, I figure we can all.
Yeah, no,
Raise
it's
it.
better.
It's quite right. About 18 times today.
Ooh. Could have stayed home?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
You're on camera. We're just trying this out to see if we need to down the road, we could give people an option.
Yep,
Like we have Matt Jackson, because he wanted to hear about a particular subject.
yes.
So he's tuned in.
Yep.
And that way we can, and I told him, I'm just trying this out. But,
You moved on, you can move the camera up there.
oh,
We want you on camera.
Well, see, I had this all figured out where I didn't have to actually get
Oh, I
on
see,
camera.
I see. It's all right, it's up to you.
Where we have 7:30 hearing, I was wondering, Bill, just jumping around on the agenda, taking care of the permits first.
Sure. And again, today it hit me that I need to, like, I'm so used to not having to have things ready, because with Zoom, it's like, okay, I'll sign it once it's drafted. So, at like 3:30 this afternoon, and then burn a couple permits just to. But we've got, yeah, these are straightforward. This is the Berlin, so the first two are our hearings. The next is 60 Banner Road, that
54
tank
Banner,
upgrade
yeah.
for the ejector pumps. We set a deadline back in April and then gave them to the August. So they have applied for the permit. They're gonna do a 2,000 gallon 2-compartment tank, H20. So whatever they do down the road, that tank should be adequate.
Right. And we,
And I've talked to Steve Morrison, and the install is pending, so they should meet their deadline.
Okay.
118 Peach Hill Road. That's the
No,
new
we gotta sign up.
house on the corner of Gibbs and Peach Hill.
yeah,
And it's got the garage.
Oh, yes, on the left or on the right?
Well, basically, it's on.
If you're gonna go drive down Gibbs.
it's the first one.
Oh,
It's on
okay.
It's actually on Peach Hill before you come on.
All right, it's on Peach Hill, yeah.
So the garage, the house, now they're doing a pool house, so this is the sewer line to tie,
It's quite
Pool house.
quite the property.
yes.
So the address is 118.
118 Peach Hill Road.
118 Peach Hill.
But this is part of the project, right, Billy? This was the last one for the project, or?
No,
No, I
actually,
think it
lot
was
4 at
sold.
the end this was actually the first one
Yeah.
that was built.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah.
Before Gibbs was even.
Oh. Right.
And then we've got the back of sales permit for the general store. The new owners have applied for that.
Is there a permit for 19 Central Street?
No, that's the general store.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
this is the one.
I spoke with him, yeah.
And actually, I gotta give you your application check to be processed. So, let's see.
He says he's busy.
Yep,
with
so
it.
that's for the board to process.
What's that one?
I talked to Ed, went to yesterday because he still has AMCs and AMXs and stuff. There's a show coming up in Boston this weekend up at the Regents.
Oh, he has old, like the javelins, things
He's
like
got
that, yeah?
AMXs, he's got
Oh.
a slew of them. His father bought a couple new from my dad, but, so he's busy as all heck, he said, he can't get away, he said, I said, we gotta find a car.
Right. This is a letter, we'll jump up to just the bottom, discussion of Region 2.
Oh, wait.
They asked for this yearly. This is authorizing either Jim Gareffi, Ira Grossman, or Kayleen Gendron, anyone that might be attending the FET meetings to vote on behalf of Berlin. So,
Okay,
all
Anybody have a
that's-
problem with that?
I don't,
The only thing I
Say
have.
if you want to go to the meetings, yeah.
No, the only thing I've had a problem with in the past is we've done all that nifty training at the schools in case of
Yes.
emergency preparedness.
Yep.
And then we never got to use any of it.
that's almost a good thing, so that they shot over it. It's- Don't, it might be back.
I don't know if you want to jump to Title V.
Yes.
reports. 11 Gates Pond, 163 Gates Pond, 327 Old Central Street are all, well, the 2 Gates Pond Road ones are passes. The 327 Old Central Street he marked as a conditional pass because, the well is less than 100 feet to the system and it needs a water test.
Which one is that, Billy?
That's the metal warehouse type building.
Oh,
Right behind
Don
Shiro's.
Mayberry?
Yeah, Mayberry.
Yeah, I know Don.
So, hey, Jim, until we get the water test results back, that would be something we write a letter on, but that might be next meeting.
And what number was that?
327 Old Central.
And what were the numbers on Gates Ponds?
11
Yep.
and 163.
Uh, 11 was the first one on the hill, Billy? Up on top?
It is, that first one on the right, I guess they had some issues with someone living there.
Yeah.
Although it was empty, it's been empty for years, so.
Right.
I posted some recap well notices today.
Oh, good.
Margaret had left them in the mailbox. With post office, general store, library, and 19 Carter.
Yeah, great.
I thought in that one, on that total fire station. In the garage, no fire station up there. For the store stuff.
Yeah, well,
Well, I think that was the fire station and before that, there was a shoe shop there. So, I don't know if they really got into the test.
Well, for the PFAS, you mean,
Well, whatever, yeah.
because that's what they.
This is just, this is the random one.
This is
Well, our
the
cap is
residential.
residential, but the DEP PFAS, firefighting foam. Certainly, so if something had a history of any type of use related to firefighting.
Yeah.
And that's something that would have to be initiated by some other town official that's
Yeah, no,
like above my pay grade.
yeah, no, I just, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm not sure how DEP is going about finding their wells to test.
Mm.
Haven't heard much about
Right.
that. Stowe and Bolton and Berlin.
Like you said, those,
I mean, I would think certainly public water supply wells would be on
Those
their
mandates,
list.
they have an next deadline to do it. Yeah, in fact, I think they're already doing it.
Even like grandfathered public water
Yeah,
supply.
yeah.
Like a thing. Sure.
Yep.
So what else do we have on the agenda, guys?
Discussion topics.
Start with Berlin Auto.
Yeah, I stopped by today, again, stopped at the scale entrance. Again, you hear a front end loader, you hear metal being crushed and moved. I guess I'd like to take the opportunity of our site walk to talk to the owner, maybe give us a life in the day, what's happening when.
Monday,
We'll see, I haven't checked the email yet, have we confirmed
I
that?
believe so.
Because if so, that's great, because I will check that on
The-
Thursday, or, the date and time. I
The
can
people
drive down today.
that are being annoyed,
Live directly across
The
the
complaint is
street.
directly across the street, and their house sits below grade, road level, so,
is it that real
unfortunately-
nice log cabin one?
No,
No, way up.
directly across the
on
street
top
from
of
the
hill.
scale entrance.
Yeah, yeah,
But the scale entrance is further down the road than the
Right.
auto parts entrance.
yes.
The scale entrance is a driveway directly across.
Okay.
And the house sits down off a road grade, so, their living area is right at the road grade.
But the junkyard.
It's
was
not
there
that
when they built, right, Bill?
Single or double wide house.
No.
No, it has a big garage
Take a
off to the
ride by,
right.
you'll see it,
He's got a garage
'cause
built
you're
off to the
describing
right.
everything before.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a gray colonial.
Yeah.
Has some tires out front. I just came by.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
had a toilet at the end of the
First-hand
driveway.
information,
Yeah.
live reporting.
There was a
Just
toilet
came
out at
by.
the end of the driveway for a.
It's a gray
I
colonial,
don't know why.
like Bill was saying, it sits right at grade
Yeah.
at the entrance of the scale house.
I can certainly understand, the owner of the junkyard subcontract his trucking, I'm sure, and
They own,
gypsies, they kind of work by their own schedule, and he's just gonna have to do probably more to try and.
He's just gonna tell it, it's part of his permit that they have to operate.
They-
a certain
they-
hours.
oh, he can't-
He's got
they can't-
butters, and if they wanna do the deals, then.
They
gotta
can't,
live by the rules.
show up before 7:15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They- they
the
don't.
trucks idling, I think, is an easy one.
Yeah, that's an
The
easy
noise
one.
from the on-site activity, if it's allowed by zoning, is a little tricky, that's when you get into the noise meter. 10 decibels above background, you know.
Well, 60 decibels is conversation. You know, we've been doing a little homework on
Yeah,
decibels
yeah.
lately.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think this,
DEP's had a lot of good resources on
Yeah.
Do they?
decibels.
Okay.
Actually, Michelle Delmar did a great webinar, and her slides were great because it gave different levels of different things, your
Yeah.
rock concert, right down the
Oh,
road.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
but a lot of the work's done over the hill too.
It is, but-
Over the crest, and
Yep.
it's no really new equipment that's been brought
Well,
in.
I guess it's gone from auto parts to metal recycling, so, it's been morphing.
Hmm.
But again, if it's allowed under the zoning,
Yeah.
we truly would be looking at the raised decibel level at the property line. Or asking them things to change,
Change.
modified, but again, I think when we're walking that site, we can find out what a normal day consists of.
Yeah, I thought it was confirmed for between 11 and 12
That'd be great.
Monday.
Yeah, I'll check, I just didn't even have a chance to get deep into it today.
And I've got to make sure I find it, but I also need to confirm if we're just all going to be on site or what.
Mm-hmm, yep. So we still got a few minutes,
And then one on the library, there's a complaint, I mean, on the community building.
Yeah, 19 Carter, yeah. One noise complaint, and as far as I know, the other request was for a site plan. They weren't specific that it was a noise complaint, but I need to confirm that with Richard Hanks, and he was out today.
Oh, okay.
So there may be as many as 2 noise complaints.
I listened to both things, or two things, and they didn't seem overly
Well,
riotous.
Yeah, I can tell you this, that the 19 Carter Board of Directors, is in direct communication with the, principal complainant. And it says, it's reversed through emails, and this
Sure.
is the site, and, because it shouldn't go to just any one person, it's a
Sure.
Board of Directors.
Let's work it out.
question,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that
We'll
one
see.
seems like conversation might solve, but if not, again, we can get out there. Yeah, I'm sure.
So, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, then I gotta pop through those emails, get a beat on what's going on there, but it sounds like people are aware of everything.
I'll make sure you get the latest.
I didn't see anyone, but that's,
You don't want
I have one person, I don't know if you heard about the problem Waste Management was having with drivers. not having
No.
with drivers.
to.
A few weeks back in Stowe, people going 2-3 weeks without collection. And they were
Oh.
complaining to the Board of Health, and the Board of Health, because it's not a town contract, said it's really between you and your hall. Bottom line is they don't have enough drivers, so they siphon drivers to take care of Stowe, and then Lancaster started getting the calls that they weren't getting picked up in a timely fashion.
Bolton's not getting picked up.
Well, I just got my first Berlin call the other day.
So they
I
don't
called the
get-
guy back
they don't
on
get paid then,
voicemail,
right?
and he never called me back, but he wanted the board to be aware of that, but again, it's really a private party contract. that-
Yeah, but Phil, my wife had asked me, she knows I have the background. in
Yeah.
this, But the Board of Health issues a trash hauling permit.
We don't in Berlin. Some
Well,
towns
Well,
do.
municipalities
Oh,
can, they
we-
can require it.
We,
We can require it with a fee. We
Oh.
currently do not.
yeah, but they have to come to Berlin and list as a hauler to us,
Not that I'm aware of.
I think.
No,
Show us.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, I don't think.
Like
that-
in Lancaster, they have to apply, they pay a fee, you have to show your insurance, and
And
they
it's
have a
some-
list of
That's
licensed
something
haulers.
we need to start thinking
Yeah.
about here.
June
Just
makes
because it's
Hudson
turning-
Disposal do that.
Yeah, I think.
He shows
I
his
think they
proof
have
of
to.
insurance. She will not,
Hmm.
yeah,
I think there is a hauling thing, we never had a big,
Yeah,
many
we're aware of
people
it.
until now.
she will not give him the first check of July
But what's he getting
from the
paid?
town.
Why would they?
Well, he used to be.
Proof of insurance and,
When he was hauling the styrofoam for the town,
Right, see, that's
Oh,
like,
that's different.
transfer
That's
station.
not,
This
that's
is
not
private.
curbside pickup is what
curbside.
you're
Well,
talking
yeah,
about.
you're right, because I did
Whole
both
different-
sides of
that's
the,
apples and oranges.
Yeah,
But it's liability, I think, too, Billy, like a umbrella liability you're supposed to have.
that's up to the company, I mean, they
Yeah.
gotta
Right.
operate with whatever they need to operate. But I'm saying that a
We should look
person
into
that
it
hires
because there's something.
a hauler right now. I mean, if you're on a license list, then your license could be at risk, but right now in Berlin, we don't issue.
Yeah, do they in Bolton still, do you know? Offhand, I know you
They
do.
might. Lancaster does definitely, I think.
Yeah. We did it big time, when I ran the Sturbridge landfill, because we wanted to control the trash, what was coming
Yeah.
down and all that,
Yep.
so.
sounds
Yeah.
like the next time there's a vacancy, maybe you should be on this board.
I don't live in this town though, I live in
Bolton, maybe.
Bolton. Yeah. But
Dan.
that's the problem with the Mass General, and Bill can speak on this, is, you know, we, all of us that have the background on it, we can't, you know, if I'm designing septics and doing that kind of thing, I can't be on the board because it's a conflict. And that's the
And it-
problem.
What, did you say you worked or ran a landfill?
Oh, I used to, yeah,
Where?
Southbridge, I ran the Southbridge landfill for 5 years.
Was that right?
Yeah, it's the state's largest landfill.
Yeah, what
the
period
big
of
one?
time?
Yeah, what's that?
What period of time?
Ooh, I've been gone now 8 years, so
Okay.
I.
I was-
They've
I
now
used
closed
to
it.
be in the
What's that,
industry
the-
myself
Oh,
on
okay.
the hauling end.
The Casella?
Yeah, Casella was our operator, I always saw Casella.
Oh, no
Doug-
kidding. Yeah.
Doug and the boys.
Good time to be gone.
7:30.
7:30.
Oh, who's up for?
So do you have, green cards and newspaper?
I don't, no.
Can you provide them?
I did not provide them, I didn't know I needed to for this.
Oh, yeah, this was a hearing. You were
Sorry, I
sent it,
didn't.
remember that hearing notice I emailed you?
I'm sorry, I forgot, Bill.
Well.
So this might be for now, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
Yes, it is.
When is the board removing the regulation?
You always gotta have to.
The
put-
in
oh,
season,
don't
well, that's on the
overvote.
topic of
Yeah.
discussion tonight, a hearing date. for a
Probably,
regular-
probably this fall is all I would say at this
This
point.
fall, you're gonna redo the regulations, you think?
That's what, we're optimistic we can get, we don't want to have a hearing to involve, the changes regulations unless we can do it in person. I don't want to do a Zoom hearing on that
Yeah,
because
yeah, it's a
I
big-
think it would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would be fair,
Right.
most importantly. So, you know, we're saying sometime this fall.
We were ready.
I bet.
We, you know.
17
Bill
months
told me, That's
ago.
why I know Bill informed me, so Bill knows it, Bill knows you were ready, but I apologize to this board that.
Yeah,
No,
and
I
I'm
didn't.
sorry, we make everybody has to provide the green
Yeah,
cards.
what is the surface radius, Bill?
What's that? We always say is a butter, so whatever that
Just
means.
direct to
When you
butters?
go to the assessors and ask for a certified list of
The
butters,
same as the first hearing, or, yeah.
like some boards require 300 feet.
Yeah,
We
some
just say
are
a butter.
100, some are 300.
Yeah.
So you're saying direct to butters on the hearing?
Again, not defined, so if you go to the assessors and say, I need the butters list, it's what they provide you. Normally, I
For
think
Board of
unless
Health?
you ask
Do
for
we say for
more.
Board of
Yeah.
Health?
Is this- is this up at
Board of
Pollard?
Health.
Excuse me?
Is this for Pollard? This
No.
one?
No, this is for Lyman
Oh,
New construction,
yes,
obviously,
yeah,
and testing.
same one that we've got it always did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
We're
When would
gonna
be
have to
next
pick
year?
a date and a time that's gonna work for you.
Yeah, get it in the.
Yeah, we'll get in the paper.
So normally, we schedule 2 meetings out, which is a month to give people enough time, but if you were truly ready to roll, we could give you the next meeting. The next meeting's 14 days away, your notice has to be out and in the paper at least 10 days prior, that's why we
Yeah.
normally don't just go.
And
2
what
weeks
paper
out.
do you use?
Any local circulation, people use the item or the
Clinton,
telegram.
Clinton,
whatever.
The
Yeah, I'm
Telegram,
familiar with the Clinton item.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're gonna make that call as far as you want next meeting or 2 meetings out to give yourself enough time to do that.
I'll take the next meeting. I think I can pull it off.
Okay.
It
would be the-
Before I say that though,
24.
what I'm not in
Ah.
control of, Bill, is the certified abutters list. What's the delay on that, do you know?
Assessors time frame, I don't know.
Because that could,
I'm not aware of one, but doesn't say that it doesn't
you know, here
exist.
I'm agreeing to a time that I don't know I can make.
Has
it.
has there been any variances on that lot or in the area?
3 days.
Yeah, why don't I take a month out then, Bill?
So that would be August 17th?
Okay,
Um, The engineers have done one in that area, they may have a
7:30?
quick list of the abutters.
yeah, but you know, usually when you do the hearings, you need a certified list.
Right.
Yeah, they'll give you one.
And they'll certify
Yeah,
it.
they will.
Yeah, yeah. I'm familiar with the process, I just didn't
Done
know it was
procedure,
required for
correct.
this one.
Right.
So,
Well,
the
that's-
17th at 7:30, I'll draft up a hearing notice for that.
17th?
Am I looking at the wrong dates?
I don't know. I'm not
Well,
looking
the
at a
August
calendar.
17th is
17th.
2 meetings out.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, give me 2 seconds, I can draft that now and give you a copy.
Just reading in the paper where Casella is having a fight in Vermont. He wants to open up a huge landfill and
Yeah, it's
near a
business-
lake.
Yeah, it's business for them. And you know
Oh,
what, I
it's huge
studied that
business.
one time, and I wondered why, like, the West Boylston, the Clinton landfill, why all the landfills around the
Hydrology.
water?
The water
I
is
know, right by the
pushing,
res.
the reservoir, I
But
believe,
what you find out is, and this is the research doing the soil study that I did, is that it's easy to excavate sand to put trash in. They're not gonna blast ledge to put
right,
trash in.
oh, there's that.
So
absolutely.
the soil formations, it's called outwash,
Yeah,
are near the landfill areas, so that's why they chose those landfill areas, because it was easy to excavate.
right.
And that's why we line
And the
them with
pollu-
clay, because they're very permeable sites.
And the pollution is prevented, because a good friend of mine used to be in charge of the DEP.
Right.
With reservoirs and bodies of water, you have the hydraulic down pressure, and that goes even below the surface and pushes outward.
Right.
So the landfill leachate isn't
It's not gonna go that way.
It's
against
not
the
gonna
pressure.
go that way, it's against pressure, so it's gonna, and with sand, to your point, it's gonna flow the easiest way.
Right.
Very
I
good
also
stuff.
wondered that, because I was driving around landfills one time.
Yeah, why are they all?
Why are they all in the sand area? And I said, oh geez, it's easy to excavate, so that's
Right,
really it.
right. Well, Clinton, they still hauling.
Well, they're
stuff out.
capping it with a dirty dirt, yeah.
Yeah, but they're capping it. They're literally making mountain over there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it's been capped for, it was
It was,
capped. once.
the trick there is it's not, it wasn't properly capped, so
Right.
those are the ones they look
That
for.
originally started.
So they can go
recapping.
in there and recap it and then add the layers
Yeah.
and,
They're gonna do something some year to it afterwards, contour it and make
Right.
something up there, but
it's been successful to make playing fields.
oh, it's been making.
Yeah.
money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Chris over the DPW director, he said he's just gonna,
McGowan.
yeah, he's gonna clear the lake, you know, the down gradient lake that we've always had problems with there?
Yeah, Washington.
Yeah. I don't think it's Washington.
I know,
it's like
South Meadow.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Sorry.
gonna, supposedly, he's gonna dredge that
Really?
with
Cool.
some of the money, so that'd be very,
Well, you could use room it up to spine.
Yeah, I don't know. who knows what's in it?
Yeah.
When I was on the Board of Health there, it was a big problem.
Yeah, it was getting fudged, you know, with even the little boat ramp there was, yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
So it's interesting to see that they're trying to do that.
Well, Chris has done good on that, and
Yeah,
they
no,
they
he handled the
realize it
contract. He
too.
had called me when I was running the Southbridge landfill.
Oh, yeah,
I know Mike Ward too, so,
oh, yeah,
but they were pretty successful there.
yeah, still. moving.
Yeah, the truck traffic.
Yeah, a lot of people see, you go, where's it going, you know, no, it's not going on the hill, it's going, most of that's going to Clinton.
Yeah, DEP's been working for years on that to find homes for what we call the dirty dirt.
Right,
It's a
right,
VOC contaminated soil.
yeah, but it stays, it's within that,
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
if it has a large threshold, then they have to burn it. But if it has a certain percentage, then they can leave it on a
Yeah.
landfill.
Isn't Rutland still fighting that? I think they're still taking in dirty dirt.
there you go.
There's a big
I know
battle
they
going on.
had a big cleanup at the Rutland State Hospital.
Well, I worked for Trimont years ago,
Oh,
and we rolled it and burnt it and sent it out, and, you know,
Yeah,
we put it right in the mix, everything. Yeah.
Excuse me, Paul and Bob seem to know who you are, but
I'm
you,
Jim Moran, sorry.
Actually, Sue, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know me, just talking.
I've heard the name, but
Which
that's
firm are
it.
you working for?
I work for my own firm. I have Northeast Classic Engineering.
That's what, yeah. Well, Scott had done a lot of those out there, you know,
Yeah.
Scott, so.
Yeah.
he- and I got a picture of whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've done a lot of them. I just didn't know, it slipped my mind with everything I have going on that I didn't know I needed to do that for the hearing.
Yeah. Well, Neil's been, he's learning as he goes.
I'm sorry, I haven't let anybody else skate by. I can't
No,
let
I'm
you.
not asking to skate by. It's no problem. I will do the right thing. 'cause
And
the
I
last
wanted to
thing-
put a smile on that
And
guy's
you are on
face.
Zoom.
What part of business?
Yeah,
Like this,
You had
right?
every day that was good? you're in trouble.
Right.
When the bad day comes, you're not gonna like it.
It goes
Very
like,
true.
goes
Right?
like, right,
Yeah.
like this, deal, right?
Well, I mean,
It is.
what they say is everything happens in threes. Well, this would happen in threes.
Nothing's ever like this
You
or
know,
like this.
you know what?
Everywhere in
If you can
between.
get 4 days good and one so.
Well, the only thing I came by and said, Neil, things great going for you. Look at the lawns you got coming in up there.
Yeah, well, you know what it is now? There's too much water.
Yeah.
So now we're getting a fungicide.
Oh, in the
So
lawns?
we gotta treat the lawns.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
They just look good. I saw you had a kid mowing them.
Yeah, well, that was my nephew. My son usually does it, but
Oh, good.
he's with his mother on vacation, so.
Oh, you don't get one? No.
Well, I got a passing I wanna do next week, and the first one's gonna go.
Yeah.
2 weeks after that, the second one, so that's where we're at.
Very good.
Neighbors, first one from Puerto Rico and the second one from Maryland.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So good.
Gotta get them done so they sell, right?
Well, yeah, with delays, you know, like anything else.
It's really interesting
COVID
to
stuff.
see the, I've lived in Berlin a long time. It's just really interesting to see, watch demographics evolve. You know, all the old Yankee families with 10 or 12 kids, you know, they're no more, you know.
Scattering.
There's one or two families in town that have been around for a long time and they're kind of like the new Yankee, you know, because they only go back 40 years.
Right.
But
It's still
they're
growing.
trying to get their family all settled here, which I think is a great thing, you know, and small towns are supposed to be like that.
Berlin is, people are seeing Berlin now as the perfect location. As soon as Worcester is taking off like that,
And
you're right
Worcester
in-
is going.
you're right in between,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, thank you, Bill.
Yeah, Joe, I just want to put at the bottom, maybe I should have made that clear, but it does talk about publish local newspaper notification of butters.
Well, he's learned his lesson. It won't happen again.
You're not the first.
He doesn't need any bandages.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Come on.
There's no electron. Okay, thank you, and I'll be back.
All righty.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you around again. Ken.
Yep.
We may be back in Zoom by then, period, so you can,
Yeah,
you
if
still
the
have to
mask
give us
might
the
come back.
cards, but.
I hope not. Have a good night, Joe.
All right, see ya.
Next up is Neil.
And maybe Liz has the cards.
Yeah.
I know, I mean, we got a
Yeah,
copy
she's
of the
on
notice.
Zoom, she says, or something.
Oh, okay, because we got copies of the
Yeah.
notice, so the board can take action, but we'll hold anything until we get the green.
Ooh,
Okay.
Until we get the
Yep.
hard copy.
Sounds good.
who do we got?
Elizabeth, yeah, on the screen.
Well, you gotta bring them up. Here we go. This one.
Lumber prices coming down on there?
Yeah, they are, actually.
Are they really?
They're coming down a little bit, but plywood, no.
Hi.
Outrageous.
Plywood's at like $100 a sheet.
I still can't, is that true?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Liz.
Okay,
We're just starting with Neil here now, so.
yes.
See, we haven't beat him yet. Can you
Hi,
see Neil?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Bill Construction.
Liz, do you have the green cards?
Yes. I sent pictures of them to the email today.
Okay,
I can show you them.
Yeah,
These email copies, that's great.
yeah, if you can actually get us the hard copies, that would be wonderful.
Yep, I can.
I'm kind of anal about my files.
Not tonight.
That's all right. I did send an email, but I will send them out tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, we may, and the address for this one is?
This is lot 3 Pollard Road. Oh, I'm sorry, lot 5.
Lot 3.
Lot
Oh, lot
3. You said
three,
lot
yeah.
5 on the
Lot
agenda.
three.
My bad. They both of them on the line.
You've been looking at the right one, right, Bill?
What's that, Liz?
You were looking at the right one this whole time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so.
So, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go?
Why don't you go, Liz?
I can
All right.
put plan in if you,
You talk about it.
yeah.
So we have a similar situation to what we've had in the past. Soil testing out of season, distance to that same catch basin in the cul-de-sac, which and I had an error in my reserve area, so I made a revision on that, which triggered a couple more local variance requests. So I'll just read them to you. Distance to that catch basin of 143 instead of the 150. And separation between the excavation areas of the primary and reserve is going to be 7.3 instead of the 10 feet. And also 20 feet from the reserve area to the property line in lieu of 25 feet with the revised reserve area. Other than that, everything is meeting setbacks. We don't have any well issues. The grading is working out real nicely up there. You know, 4-bedroom home.
I don't like the reserve area thing, but in reality, it's just system of the field. It's probably dug up and it's where it is.
Nowadays, right, with fill systems.
I
yeah.
don't see that as a.
So Liz, that's 20 feet to property line from.
To the property line at the cul-de-sac. So instead of using the 250 foot,
Yep.
use 347 like the other, like the primary. And in order to keep it at the right, in order to keep it at the 25 feet from the property line on the right. And also I wanted to hold the elevations I had been working with.
Yep.
It's down a little bit. I could, well, I mean, I have a little bit of room to work with if I want to move it back toward the well a little bit. But then things might get raised up, which not significantly, but I mean, I could, if you want me to stay away from that property line, move back toward the well. But then I'm going to have a reduction in the property line from the right.
So you're talking about 20 feet to edge of clean fill in the reserve to the cul-de-sac property line in the front?
Yep.
Now, when you
Yeah,
say-
so I'm saying if I have to move it away from the primary, which I took a slight reduction there. If I move away from there, then I have to take a reduction to the right property line. If I don't want to be 20 feet from the cul-de-sac property line and I move it back, I'm going to end up taking a reduction to the property line on the right. So kind of 6 to 1, half of the other there.
So Liz, were you able to hold the 25 feet from edge of clean fill to the lot 2 property line still?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So it's only that front line towards the cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then the distance between primary and reserve, that's the distance between edge of clean fill on both?
Correct.
So the systems themselves will.
Oh, yeah.
The systems themselves are 17 feet apart.
Okay.
The dig outs are 7.3.
And then the distance.
Revised.
Has gone from like a 148 to like a 143.
Say that again?
The distance to the catch basin, you said was adjusted a little bit. Instead of 148, it's 143.
Yep.
So this is that basin. You can see this way down here. Yeah.
That catch basin has a lot, we got a reduction on that one from 5 also, I think.
That also. These are the distance reductions and then season also, yeah.
I would be more concerned with this one than this one.
I'm okay. So,
It's got beautiful material there. The beach.
what?
You've needed it with the rain
Oh,
we've
yeah,
had this
I
month.
know.
At least you have drainage there.
Too much rain. Thank God I had my lawns in.
That's what I.
Oh, let me tell you, it was raining. I says, oh, when it first started raining, way back, So
Yeah.
I hope they all, I
Yeah.
accuracy,
Well, I
that
saw-
I did everything.
You,
Bill, do you have
you lost a
any,
little on one of the basin ponds, I'm like, then it grew in, I'm like, no, you got it.
Again, these are all in-project offsets, they're well above, Title V, and, I think would go away with the regular. I know we're looking at the regular ones now,
Right.
requiring it, but yeah, there's
Yeah,
nothing
I
here that's
see.
affecting in a butter. Well, again, these are, they're probably similar to variances that the board has looked at on lot 1 and 2 in some fashion.
Right.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second,
That's all.
pass
Let
all
'em make the-
requests.
Let them make the motion first.
Make a motion to pass all the variances as requested.
I'll second that motion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Liz,
Yes?
if you want to, hold on to the green cards until I have reviewed this plan in full.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we can get the revised plan of the green cards just down to one mailing.
Okay.
Save you.
Sounds good.
You can always just drop them here, if you put the building in the box, or does that get to you?
Yeah,
Oh, she's
and also
kind of up north.
she's in there.
Oh, in Maine.
You mail them to my office, I'll take them.
See, I told you, Zoom and in person
Well, look, she's
has
up,
its advantages.
she's on the beach right now. Where in Maine are you, Liz?
Kittery Point.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
Is it breezy up there right now?
No, it's not. It's pretty, it's still warm and humid.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, not here in my office, but
Oh, okay.
here.
I was down the Vineyard for the last 2
Didn't
weeks.
get
and
to it today.
It
so
only
it's on my
rained
list
twice
tomorrow,
down there.
and I'm gonna call you.
Oh, you're kidding. How nice is that?
Yeah, I'll pick
Yeah, even that
Yeah,
big hurricane we
yeah,
were
give
supposed
me-
to
if you
get,
haven't heard from me,
it
maybe
only,
give me a call, but I was
it
very
sprinkled
today
for a
in the
little
field.
bit,
I started
and then
my
it
day at
just a little wind.
6:30
It
to try to
wasn't
leave
even
the day
serious,
open.
just a little wind.
Did all these inspections.
Wow, nice.
We did all right.
Well, I hope I can get back to the office, then I got more calls for inspections after, so. Didn't pan out.
Lost you guys. Where am I?
All right.
Thank you.
You gotta
All
yell,
right, have a good night.
Nice meeting you all.
say goodnight to us.
Good night.
Yeah.
Sorry, somehow I lost you. Oh, there you are. Well, thanks, all right? Are we good?
You're good.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you again.
Okay. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Whitney Road, today, we sent a letter back in January, that they had to remove their garbage binder on a Title V inspection. We did the standard letter. They sent us an email indicating it's been removed, so normally we write a letter back saying that the report's now accepted, so we do have that documentation. And then again, just that general date for reg regulation, again, as long as it's on the radar, you don't have to pick a date, but just Matt's asking every time we meet, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's here.
Yeah,
He's
He,
been-
he wants to make sure you were relaying it to us,
Yes,
Bill.
yes.
And you have been.
Yep, so that's on the, that's on the radar.
So should we look at a tentative date? Because I'm afraid if we don't, I know, but you know what? Before you know it, I can't bring my calendar up.
I think we ought to just talk about, let's say maybe discussing it, but with this COVID, the way it's going, I don't know how Zoom is gonna go.
Well, like most plans, you make a plan and then you adjust. You have to.
I mean, some of these basic ones we know are pretty cut and dry.
Well, it's really about the process, about having a hearing,
Yep,
seeing
posting.
posting and.
Why don't we shoot for it like the third week of
Never.
September?
That's what I meant to say.
So tentative, we'll have to do.
That's when my next doc-
What's that, the 21st?
21st.
Yeah. Because,
I'll
you
have
know,
to dig up the general law that requires, we have to do a posting either once or twice, like 14 and 7 days prior, in the paper.
You mean for a hearing?
For a hearing.
Yeah.
Although you're actually making regs less restrictive, so I think you can just do it in the meeting, but play it safe,
Yeah.
do the hearing,
Yeah.
make it
Right.
official. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
And you like Paul said, give people a chance to have some input,
Input, right.
engineers, installers,
I think it's great.
should we, now, should we go a step further and put the proposed regs up on the website, the Board of
I
Health
think you can
website?
get them now.
I would wait. I think that's a great idea. I just think we need to time it. I don't want to do that prematurely because there's still a fair amount of summer left.
I was gonna
Let's
say
not
that-
disrupt it.
But like next meeting, I can bring the MGL, when the hearings will have to be posted.
No, absolutely.
Well, part of that is having the revisions available.
So we're gonna need to spend some time, make sure we get them tweaked the way we want them.
Yeah.
And then
Well, you notice I didn't do it in August, suggest August.
I would have been all over it if you had. No, I think, 21st of September is a good date to shoot. for.
Yeah, fall. Yeah.
Okay. We can always bring it in or move it out,
Yeah.
but I just don't,
Having a target, I think, is half the battle.
I don't feel good about the way the numbers are ticking up, so.
No, not at all.
But then we should get it. We should work on two meetings on exactly what we want to put down. I think we,
Yeah,
There's not a
but
lot of time.
we
That was
will-
Early Zoom day.
we will have to,
Before.
Yeah.
before Zoom.
that's-
yeah, we'll have to review it all.
You made a tentative one, didn't you, for us?
Yeah, we've got to find a draft, I think you'd say.
Yeah.
It can't be tweaked, but.
Yeah, we have a draft though, right?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, but I'll probably have to force you all into a Zoom meeting just to review it, so it's all fresh in everyone's mind.
Hey, I'll do Massachusetts.
Transfer station planning smoothly, Paul?
Well, and I care about
As
you
far as
too.
I know, to tell you the truth,
No,
Bobby,
no news is-
I've passed through there twice in the last 6 weeks and haven't spoken with anybody. Because I wanted to be peaceful and quiet.
I
And
sent my wife to get this thing. Donna was very, polite, very nice to her.
Donna's not gonna be nasty to anyone.
Oh, she was a sweetheart. And my wife said, oh, this girl, that's on, just on around secretary. Oh, she was very nice.
do we have anything else for Bill?
I do not.
Bill, what do you got?
Either? Not much.